Okay, so one thing I added to my game was a timing element. So I've got the points now, and I've got the end of the enemies and stuff, but I can add a timer element. So if you come into sensing, you can just tick the timer. Okay, so now we're counting up the time. Now this just continues to go. We'll stop that in a second, but first off we want to try and make use of the timer. So first off we want to make sure that we're resetting the timer every time we press the green flag. So we'll come up to this one, we're in the stage, and we'll say, well, we're going to reset to the green flag, okay, as well as resetting the score. We also need to have a little bit of script that says when, so we want, well, first of all, you've got to think how you want to use the timer. I would suggest, you might want to have, so if the timer, is over 30 seconds, game over, so that's the kind of thing I would do. So we need to come in here. So when the green flag is clicked, forever if something is, if this is true, do this. So it's forever if it's greater or less than. So we have in the operations, we have all these different kinds of things. We have the nots and the ors that we used earlier, but we've also got, you've got a greater than or you've got a less than. So forever if the timer is greater, that's right, so forever if the timer is greater than 30 seconds, then we'd need to, when the green flag is clicked, forever if the timer, there we go, so forever if the timer is greater than 30 seconds, we then need to broadcast game over. Okay, so we're going to click on that. So now if this, we've got 30 for demonstrating purposes, I'm just going to put in 2. So if we're greater, so let's go, if we're greater than 2 seconds, we're going to broadcast game over. Now of course these things are still happening, I can still move my thing. So what I would be tempted to do, as one of these clearing up things we'll do in a second, is we come in here and we go to stop all. So therefore when we call that, when it goes past 2 seconds, we're going to stop all the scripts. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to, when it comes to 2 seconds, we'll stop all the scripts. Okay. So now we have a timer element, so that if it takes longer than 30 seconds, then game is going to be over. And you can extend this further if you want. So you could have, if forever if you're touching the green color, you change the score by 50. But what happens if you complete the game in under 10 seconds? Maybe you deserve more points. Maybe you deserve more points. So you could have, forever if touching this color. And on the inside you've got an if. So forever if touching this color. You want to change it. So if. So whenever you're touching that color, if the timer, which is in there, if the timer is, let's say, less than, if the timer is less than 15 seconds, maybe you want to increase by 50. And then if anything else you can, so we've got the wrong brick in here, so we've got an if else, okay, so when you talk through it, it makes sense. So forever if the timer is less than 15 seconds, change the score by 50. Anything else, if it's over, if it's over, that means, if it's anything else which is over, then you're going to change the score, and I would suggest you change the score by less, because that's less of a feat. Change the score by 20. Okay, so forever if, and now we have a bit of script that says, so if we touch this before 15 seconds, then we're going to add 50 points. If you don't, then it's 20 points. So now we're making it more challenging. We're challenging the gamer to try and complete the game as soon as possible.